We are up and running. Let's see, got a few people here already. If my mouse would just work, that would be spectacular. So we've got Sam. Thank you for the heart me, Sam. Thank you for the heart me, Eddie. Good morning, injured fisherman. Uh, all right. Happy Monday morning, I suppose. Although I don't really have much happy stuff to talk about. Lisa says, I wonder how much this administration will send to Jamaica. I have not heard anything about that, so I don't know. Someone's looking to come up, but I'm not doing that right now, David, so hang in there. In just a little while, I will be bringing people up. David has chosen not to wait. Understood. Could have been accidental with all the tapping and such. Thank you, folks, for getting me on the board with 1,000 likes. Our next goal is 10,000 so that we can, get noticed, basically. Patrick says, hello, Suge Knight. Not the first time I've heard that, but hello. Let's see. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Penelope, good morning. Good to see you. Penelope runs ever so beautifully the agency that I belong to. And user 4957 says, love your hair. Yeah, well, it must be my facial hair because that's pretty much the only thing I have going on. I mean, I guess technically it grows on the sides, but the top abandoned me a while back. All right. Man in the Iron Mask says happily unemployed while he's on the same live I am. Isn't that funny? The dum-dums make that statement once in a while. Oh, you must be unemployed because you're doing a live show. Well, then you must be unemployed too because you're watching a live show. You see how that logic works? Oh my God, every time. So pathetic. So pathetic. Oh, but listen, one day you'll elevate past the humor of a 5-year-old. I'm rooting for you. I really am rooting for you. User 4957 says dump is your daddy, is you daddy, actually. Dump is you daddy. So that's what's called in psychology projection. That's how you feel about dump. You're an adult and you simp for another adult. And in this case, an adult man that you're simping for, a billionaire who doesn't give a shit about you, who's taking everything from you, but you think of him as daddy. So you assume other people think of him as daddy too, but I don't. All right, so we have a few people here, and the taps are coming in. So let me start with a musical interlude. This is an oldie but a goodie, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too.
Guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. you won't do to do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Oh, I only want the best, it's true. I can't believe the things I do for you. What you won't do for love. You've tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do.
All right. The childishness in MAGA is coming out full force today. That's wild. Look at that. I asked a question. This is not even an insult. I asked why support dump, and they're off to the races already with their childish emotions. Oh my God, are you talking bad about daddy? They're trying to tell me he's king. We the people obviously hates America. And David G. Wynn says, because he is good for the country. Okay, well, then there must be lots of things that he's doing that are good for the country. Name 3. And 3 real ones, please. Reading trunk. I do want the leader of America to be successful, but he's failing miserably. So, we the people, dump is your daddy. You keep saying that. That's weird shit. Dump is the man. Listen to these adult men simping for another man. How sad is that? Honestly, how do you have any respect for yourself talking like that? I mean, man, That is really sad. But let's. I mean, there's a long list of things we could talk about, but let's talk about a couple of things that are pretty significant to me, and then come up and tell me how great he's doing. So, by now, you might or might not know that Dump pardoned the CEO of ByteDance, which is a crypto company. Shockingly, Dump did that after ByteDance did a business deal with him, right? And they were pumping and dumping Dump's crypto, allegedly. But also, the CEO, was found to have taken money from T groups, and not just one or two, like 5 of them. Countries that are direct enemies of America. Okay. And this guy took money from them, also profiting from illegal child material. And now the president who claims to be the president of peace is once again engaged in the opposite. He's started an illegal ground conflict with Venezuela, and it's illegal because he didn't ask anybody, which is what a president is supposed to do. And oh, let's see. This is a funny statement. Borqueño, who I assume is Latino, says Argentina beef is better than U.S. beef. The cheeky beekeeper says block Yoddah, and so is this the first time in your life you've heard opinions that are different than yours? And I'll save you the trouble. There you go. Now you're blocked. Okay, so Ryan the Legend says because I do, Uncle Phil. What's that mean? Zephyr says nothing like pardoning Hunter. Sure. Let's see. What was Hunter's crime? And he legitimately committed a crime. I agree. But we're talking about lying on a form to buy a weapon. And the lie was about whether he had any substance abuse issues in his past. That was his big crime. And you're saying that pardoning the guy who works with T groups is better than pardoning Hunter, right? That's what you're saying? That's really what you're saying. Oh, you're not part of the cult at all, are you? Right? You will support Dump through anything because you're a cult member. We have someone that wants to come up. Interesting username, True Korea. Username, True Korea. Oh, there's an echo. Are you there, True Korea?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There was an echo for a second, but that was probably just as you were loading. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent. What's on your mind?
Well, I mean, let's talk about the whole Hunter Biden thing and the
No,
pardon.
let's not. That's boring. That's boring. Why do you support Dump?
Well, for the memes, but you think that, are you familiar with Chevron deference?
I am. What, could you just
So do
get to
you
your
think
point,
that,
please?
well, when you're talking about, with the ATF and, lying on a form, meanwhile, the ATF during that administration was creating their own laws, circumventing Congress, and
Okay,
imprisoned.
so you're not going to answer the question, are you? You're just up
I
here to
respectfully,
monologue about your weird subject, right? So I'll
I
tell you
just, I
what, go gather
respectfully
yourself. If you have something to say about my topic, then feel free to come back up. We have a good child, Chill. I'm not sure
Poochie.
what that's. What is your username? I'm sorry.
Poochie.
Poochie. Hello, Poochie. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Excellent. You sound very muffled and far away from your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Just barely, but I think I can make it. What's on your mind?
I think Trump's doing a great job.
Fantastic. Anything else?
Do you feel the same way?
No, but what? Why do you? Why name the great things he's doing for America?
Right now in his first term or second term, I mean.
Oh,
Or you want me to talk about his first term?
did you hear the question? Do you understand English?
Yeah. Did you need
I
to?
said what he's doing now. What's confusing about that?
He's doing everything great now.
He's
Securing the
doing
border,
everything
holding on
great now.
strength.
Okay, so you like that he is bombing boats without any kind of
Yes.
evidence
Yep.
of wrongdoing?
They're trying to bring. They're trying to
No,
bring
no,
things
no, no,
over
no, no,
here
no,
that could
no, 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 no,
harm
no,
our
no,
kids.
no, 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 no. Hold
Yep.
on, hold on.
What was on the
Did you
boats? What was on
investigate
the
the
boats?
crime? Did you investigate
What
them?
was on the boats?
Did you investigate them? So
Didn't
you
need to.
don't
They
know
knew
what
about
happened
that.
because there's been no evidence
It's
unless
funny
you
that just like
yourself
for
got
criminals
evidence.
who just bringing
So you don't
smokes
know
over
what's
here. Did
going
you
on
help
and you're just going to try to
Trump's your
talk
daddy?
over me. So you're done. Okay. Someone else looked like they were going to come up but didn't. Folks, listen, I know you have this childish obsession with dump. I know you do. I can see it in the chat. I can hear it in your desperate attempts to turn left, right, and say the sun rises in the west, but come up with something intelligent instead of just babbling about nonsense. You know, we could have an hour-long conversation if you want, if you just know how to have a normal conversation. But many of you MAGA hats are so emotional and so distraught at the failure that dump is that you want to make believe about what's going on. He pardoned someone who does business with T groups. I thought you people loved America. I thought you people were patriots. I thought you people believed in the rule of law. But you don't, do you? Because you're supporting someone that would pardon someone who worked with like 5 different countries that were involved in September 11th and that continue to be T organizations, and you're going to pretend that's okay. Does that sound like maybe you're in a cult? Does that sound like maybe you're not attached to the truth at all because you don't want to be? You want to pretend Daddy Dump is great no matter what he does? You need to grow up. Look at this. Look at this numbnuts. Thank God for our great president, Mr. Trump. Shit fuck macaque tits is a really funny username. And yes, they do love YTTV and hate that other people are here. That is true. LM from Indy, I agree with you. The real patriots protested on No King's Day. God is involved with DT World? What does that even mean? Why are you inviting your imaginary friend into the conversation? That's odd. Cynthia Pop says, and it's a very interesting way of spelling Cynthia. I've never seen that before. Cynthia Pop says, it's just blatant racism. I see no other reason. Truly, I think that's a huge factor. I happen to agree with you. Ray Diaz, you have an interesting point. They are most deaf, not more American, because he's trying to divide it. It's the United States. So even though I agree with you that he's trying to divide America, my personal opinion, I'm not claiming to be right, but this is how I think. America's never been united. I never refer to America as the United States. I always refer to it as America because it's, I don't see any point in history where it was united for even a minute. Yanko says TDS is real. Yes, I agree, Yanko. Please don't type in all caps. And also, you have it real bad. I could tell. Oh, Valerie says God has nothing to do with dump. Well, to me, God has nothing to do with anything, but, whatever gets you through the night. Yuxu, there's always a MAGA hat that refers to my conversation as crying. So what that tells me is that they don't understand actual human emotions, because clearly I'm not up here crying. If I were, fine, but I'm not. So they just love to say that shit because they don't know what to say. When someone insults their daddy, they get so emotional that they don't know what to say about it. They don't know how to bring facts together to support their love of him because there is no support. By the way, we still have 35 of the heart me's up there. I didn't really do all the TikTok live stuff, so let me do that now. Up here over my head, some of you, hopefully most of you, will see a heart me. Look at that! I just got one by Albert. Thank you. Valerie gave one also. Thank you. Shitfuck. Thank you. Oh, no, actually, Valerie gave a pumpkin. Oh, that's very cool. So if you see an orange heart over my head, that's the best thing to do with any live show that you go to. It's one TikTok coin, so it's meaningless, but it actually helps the algorithm tremendously. So please do that. If you don't see a heart me over my head, that's okay. We have a workaround. All you have to do is go to the bottom row and click on the gift box icon, and all of the gifts will open up, and you can, hopefully the heart me is near the top. Don't just click on any heart. You want to send the heart that's called heart me, 2 words, heart me. And sometimes you might have to scroll to find it. Sometimes it's near the top, whatever. But do that, come back and keep tapping. You guys are doing a great job of tapping so far. Thank you. And, if you'd like, you could share the live. One of the easiest ways to do that, actually the easiest way to do it, is gently place your finger on the screen, either at my nose or my giant forehead, whatever you like. Giant forehead's easier, right? Just gently press your finger there, and what you'll see is your friends list will jump up, and each one of your friends will have the word send next to them, right? And that includes lists that you're part of or lists that you've created in the messaging app. And that way you could send to multiple people all at one time. Isn't that exciting? So you can go down the road. You can send out, I believe, 40 or 50 of them. We don't have an exact count, but I believe it's at least 40. So do that, please. Get people in the live. We have a good group here, but of course, more is better. More people, more fun, right? All right, let's see. What do we got going here? Yes, they think America should look like Mayberry from Andy Griffith. Yeah. Well, here's the interesting thing that the mouth breathers don't know. They're not good at math. We already know that, right? That's why they say that the majority of the country cast their ballot for dump, which they didn't. It was 49.6%, which is not a majority. It's 49.6 or 49.8, something like that. It's almost 50%, but that's not a majority. That's what's referred to as a plurality. And again, that doesn't take away anything from the fact that he has the presidency, but it's not a majority. But they're bad at math. They have trouble with math. But here's where they're really having trouble with math. Stephen Miller said specifically that he wants only 100 million Americans to live in America. And he wants them all to look like him, which is, like a snake come to life, basically. But here's the problem with that, and it's a huge math problem, right? He wants 100 million Americans that are YT, pardon me, but there are 204 million Americans that are YT. So that sounds like he's coming after many of you, right? The people in this chat, I can guarantee you they're not part of the club. They're not making the cut. They haven't donated hundreds of thousands or millions to Dump. They haven't bought his bullshit to launder money through. His cards and sneakers and all that memorabilia nonsense that is so undignified for a president, or even when he was a candidate, for a presidential candidate to be hawking. You know, but they don't get that. They just know that Dump is as racist as they are. So they believe he is anyway. And I agree. His history clearly illustrates that. But they think they're going to be part of the club that makes the final cut. They don't understand that all that food that is now rotting on the ground in farms, eventually they're going to have to find people to pick that food, right? The fruits and vegetables that are just rotting. Do you think that they're going to keep doing that? Do you think that the entire farming industry is going to collapse? No, they're going to start putting, once they get rid of the brown people, well, who's going to do that work? Poor white tea people, that's who. They're rounding them up now. They want to start filling prison camps so that they can get cheap labor, which is what the 13th Amendment allows for. The first sentence of the 13th Amendment says, and this is not a word-for-word quote, but this is what it says: slavery is illegal unless you incarcerate the person. That's the first sentence of the 13th Amendment. You don't know shit on farming. I do. So, yo, dude, tell me, if I don't know shit on farming and you know so much about it, so are there fruits and vegetables rotting in the fields because there's no one there to pick them? Because that's what farmers are saying. So I believe farmers over you because you sound like a moron. So I believe what farmers are saying. They're going out of business. They're begging for government handouts, even though they mostly voted for him, which means that they don't like, they don't like what they call socialism. Isn't that funny how suddenly they want socialism in America? That's weird, right? Man, you people will believe anything. MAGA hats will essentially believe anything that Dump says. They're so desperate to be a good little cult member that they just literally believe anything he says. Daddy Dump said it, so it must be true, right? That's basically how it works, right? Anybody that says anything against Dump, even a question like why support Trump, right? I even spelled his name correctly, just so not to confuse the MAGA hats. So why support Trump? Now that's a question that could mean that I support him too, and that I'm looking for reasons to support him. But no, right away they're insulted. How dare you ask why we support our fearless leader? How dare you? He's Daddy Dump. He's your daddy too. Adult men referring to another man as daddy and having no problem with that, simping for a billionaire who doesn't know they exist and who does not care about them at all because they need to be good little cult members so that they can be part of the club, right? So that way when the military, the illegal military that's roaming the streets of America starts rounding them up, they're going to be confused. Oh my God, I thought I was part of the team. I thought I was part of the club. Why are you doing this to me? And then they're going to be picking fruits and vegetables for $1 an hour or maybe less, because they might be part of a prison camp, so it might be like something like 23 cents an hour. And they're gonna lose their homes, they're gonna lose everything, and they're gonna be like, but I love Daddy Dump. Why did you do this to us, Daddy Dump? Traffic man, hey, thank you for helping with the goal. I appreciate you. I guess I'll do one more goal for the morning, just one more. What should I pick? We did what's up? All right. Let's see if they fix this. The other day I couldn't figure out how to do this. They changed how, we do the goal thing. Okay, let's try roses. Okay, so now 100 isn't an option anymore, but I have 10. Looks like I can type it in. Okay, so why? Why make me type in something that's so common? All right, whatever. All right, come on, confirm. Now it won't let me confirm. Oh, Lord. This is what happened last time. Let's see. Wait, let's delete this. Let's try this now. Confirm. There it went. Oh, I just had to get rid of the other two things. That's new. All right. All right. So now I've got 100 roses. Someone gave me a hat. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Or I'm sorry, Jersey Mike. I need new glasses. I've been needing new glasses for at least 6 months and just have not gone to get the checkup. Look at this. Look at what Bree said. Look, this is someone who thought about what they wanted to write, then wrote it, then posted it, and probably so proud of themselves. Dems just catered to the 2%. That is backwards. That's literally what Dump has been doing this whole time. Who did he give tax breaks to permanently? Not the temporary bullshit ones he gave you. That's going to save you a few $100 or 2,000 at the most for a little while. Was it like 2 years or something? Or even if it's 4, he bought your loyalty for a couple $100, or maybe if you're lucky, a couple $1,000. But he gave the wealthiest people in the country permanent tax breaks. That's just insane. Absolutely insane. The Republicans are bought and paid for by the wealth class. Many Democrats too, without question. But at least the Democrats are trying to get you things like health care. They gave you a 40-hour work week. They took children that were 7 to 12 years old and older out of the mines and made it illegal for businesses to exploit child labor. They gave you health care. They gave you the highway system that Republicans voted against. They gave you Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, SNAP and EBT, Section 8. They gave you all that stuff. And you're mad at Democrats. That's genius thinking right there. Genius thinking. Beth is here. Hello, Beth. Good to see you this morning. Let's see. B Nasty says, this must be Corn Pop, the guy Biden was talking about. Wow, what a brilliant reference that nobody knows. B Nasty says, it's not do your research, buddy. It's not do your research, buddy. No punctuation whatsoever. Do your research. That's what dumb people say when they don't have an answer. Do your research. Jersey Mike says he's going to crash everyone's dollars, rich and poor. Yep, it's looking like it. Yo, dude, okay, good question. What tax breaks did Biden give the middle class? Let's say it was 0. Let's say it was zero, right? What else did he do for the middle class? Created the most jobs of any other president, right? Recovered from C-19 faster than any other country. Trump supported the middle class at every step. He brought back manufacturing. He did the CHIPS Act. He did nothing but help the middle class. I don't even like the dude, but his record is his record. And you people want to pretend that night is day and up is down. You don't want to look at the facts. You say dumb things like, what tax breaks did Biden give to the middle class? Who cares? Tax breaks are an unrealistic way of doing anything in America. Tax breaks don't work. Okay? Except in like select circumstances, like you say something like, a first-time home buyer doesn't have to pay tax on this and that for like a year. Okay, that's an incentive. That could work, potentially. But just this blanket thing, we're going to give all the wealthy people tax breaks. Because in order for you to think that tax breaks are good, it means you don't know anything about American history, right? You don't know when America was doing the best financially. And since you don't know, I'll tell you. After World War II, because in 1928, what's happening now was happening then. Before now was the last time it happened where Republicans controlled everything, right? Including judges, everything, right? And what they do, right? In 1928, they decided, we're gonna put businesses before people, right? And we're gonna focus on profits, and we're gonna give tax breaks and all that other shit. What happened right after that? Right after they made all those brilliant decisions, America was plunged into darkness in the Great Depression, the worst economic crisis in American history. That's what Republicans did, right? And it took a Democratic president to fix all that, right? And he did an amazing job. FDR, with all his flaws, did an amazing job getting America out of that horrible situation that Republicans plunged us into. And how did he do that? He taxed the wealthy. The highest nominal tax rate was 92%, which doesn't mean 92% of all your money. Just when you hit a threshold, anything above that gets taxed at 92%. And then, it was a graduated tax plan. And America had the most money back then. The middle class grew. One person, if you had a family, mom, dad, 2 children, mom could stay home and raise the children, or she could go to work and dad could stay home and raise the children, either one. But typically, dad would go to work, and in 40 hours, he was able to buy a house, buy a car, go on vacation, pay for any medical expenses, pay for college for his 2 children. Who can do that now? Who can do that now? What 40-hour-a-week job enables someone to do all that now? Especially since minimum wage has not gone up since 2009. Barack Obama's first year in office, and he holds some of the blame for that too, because he never raised the minimum wage. So all these Republican plans of trickle down and all this bullshit, let's give tax breaks to the wealthy, it doesn't work. That's why America has the highest percentage of its population in poverty than any other country. And that's what you think is good. That's what you call winning, right? The highest level of poverty, the highest percentage of its population of any country in prison. That's what you think is winning. The worst street candy problem, the worst depression problem, one of the worst obesity problems, The number one way that children pass away in America is not disease. It's not car accidents anymore like it was for decades. It's weapons that you keep saying, no, no, let's keep them no matter what, no matter how many children perish. Even Kirk said that, right? Fatalities are okay for 2A. That's what he said. Damn shame that his words came back to haunt him. But that's what you think is winning. That's what you think is the best president ever in America. Why does he have the lowest approval rating of any American president ever in history? How come? How come he's failing at all the most important things? The only thing he's succeeding at is that he's enriching himself and his family. Made the majority of his wealth, or close to, I think it's close to half of his wealth right now. And remember, he's been in business since like the 60s or early 70s. The Dump organization was cited in a lawsuit from Richard Nixon's Department of Justice for racist real estate practices, and that I think was 73. So he was in business with Daddy for a long time. So over 50 years. Over 50 years. And he still doesn't know how business works. He certainly doesn't know how a country works because he's failing, right? But in all the time he was in business, now is when he's making the most money. And you think that's okay because you don't care about the Constitution. Because as long as Daddy is winning, then you don't care that you're losing. Right? And I know all of you are going to bullshit. Oh, my 401k is doing great. I made so much money when he was in office. Yeah, you don't care about other people. I'm doing okay too, but I care about America. Not because I love America, because I live here and people I love live here. So I care about what happens here. I care about what happens to other human beings. You don't. You only care about your wallet and your life. You don't care that children are going hungry because of these pieces of shit. Dump and his entire bullshit administration are causing children to go hungry. They're causing the elderly to go hungry. They're causing the elderly to miss out on their medication, which means some of them are going to pass away. When USAID was removed, that's a huge problem, completely underreported, but they were estimated to have saved an average of 4.5 million people a year in their 20-year history. And you think that's bad. You think that it's a line item that should be crossed off because Elon Musk said, oh, yeah, it's too much money. Why are you like this? Why don't you care about humanity at all? Why don't you care what happens to your fellow Americans? You're so patriotic, yet you don't care what happens to Americans. You don't care that people are being sent to sea camps in other countries that have never been charged with a crime, never had their day in court. That's America. That is the foundation of America. Due process is one of the most significant things that distinguishes America from every other country. Freedom of speech. From my understanding, no other country on planet Earth has freedom of speech baked into their law. And you're okay with Dump arresting people because he doesn't like what they say. You think that's good. I gotta wonder what happened to you. Breeze Breeze just said, Americans first in America only makes good sense. Right, except that's not happening. Dump just gave $40 billion to Argentina so that their farmers could succeed while American farmers are going out of business. There's enough money for that. There's enough money for WAR, right? There's enough money for Dump to go golfing every weekend, costing Americans hundreds of millions of dollars. There's enough money to build a ballroom, right? But everybody else is just out of luck, I guess, right? Because you don't care about human beings. Forget the fact that they're Americans, which frankly I don't think should matter, but you're so patriotic. You say America first, and then you watch as a president pays more attention to other countries. He's under the boot of Putin. He's under the boot of Netanyahu. You don't mind that, right? He had one of our allies in the White House, and he berated that man who's in the middle of defending his country bravely, way more brave than Captain Bone Spurs ever was. But you think, yeah, that's how you treat allies. You yell at them and berate them and disrespect them. But when Putin comes, you literally lay out a red carpet for him. How disgusting. You people are not patriots. User 2929, didn't Elon say he would save I think it was 2 trillion, right? Yeah, they actually wound up costing America money. Doge didn't save anything. The only thing Doge did was create the smokescreen for Elon to go in and get data that he later allegedly sold to Palantir. And here's another interesting little bit of trivia regarding Felon Musk. Remember that Daddy and Muskie had a falling out? They're not best friends anymore. And what did Musk do right after that? He went on his platform, his social media platform, and he said something to the effect of, Dump is on the list, right? I believe a few hours later he took it down, but a bunch of people had taken screenshots of it. And we know that that's what he said, right? So how is it that after he said that, after he accused the President of America of being a PDF file, that Musk got a $200 million contract for Grok AI in the government? That's kind of odd, don't you think? He handles Putin better than anyone. Sure. If handling you mean bending over and taking anything Putin wants to do to him, yeah, he's handling him just fine. I could stop all conflicts. First day in office. Not only didn't he stop anything, but he created more. Your peace president created more conflict. What horse shit is that? Why do you tolerate that? Breeze, Elon's app is really wild. No, I'm not interested in doing anything that he has to do. Rare earth baby is why we support Dump. Genius. How many times did Putin invade Ukraine under Dump? Well, he's doing it now. So now, he's doing it now. Didn't Dump say he would stop that? And he didn't. So what's your point? None, as always. You focus on the most ridiculous aspect of a situation because you're not adult enough to think for yourself. You just listen to what Daddy Dump tells you. Propaganda parrot, bop, bop, bop. Daddy Dump said it, so I'm going to repeat it. Amanda, I thought he said first day in office. But okay, 2 days. Let's say he said 2 days. Let's say he said 2 weeks. Let's say he said 2 months. He still lied. Because he didn't stop any conflicts. And he created conflicts. What's that about? What's that about? I mean, and they act like they don't know what words mean. They act like they didn't hear him say that the entire time he was campaigning. Oh, I didn't know he said that. I didn't know. Oh, I'm just a propaganda parrot. I can't think for myself. I'm just a cult member. I only rely on Fox and Daddy to tell me what's going on. They still watch Fox, knowing that Fox lost a $787 million defamation lawsuit. They still watch it. Zero credibility for this channel. A rating of accuracy like 30%, I believe. And they still watch it. And they still repeat the stuff that they see on that channel. That's amazing. Jason, MP Materials signed a deal with, we've heard about like 50 different deals that have not materialized, so okay. Look at this. Jason, oh, he's desperate. AI is booming because of Dump. Yeah, what did Dump do? Tell me the policy that Dump wrote that went through and passed that helped AI. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go search for it. See what you can find. And while AI is booming, people are losing their jobs. You do understand that, right? So once again, you don't care. What you care is that Dump told you that he did something. So you're coming here to repeat it, but you don't care what that means. Okay, I'm all for technology, but unfortunately, sometimes technology replaces human beings. You know, there used to be a milk delivery guy, and now that job was taken away because of technology. You know, the typewriter repair guy is gone. You know, the knife sharpening guy, they used to roll around town and sharpen knives. His job is obsolete because you can buy a knife sharpener. Right? That happens. You know, the people who were scriveners lost their jobs to copy machines because that's what they were, human copiers. Right? So that happens. Technology displaces things, and it's unfortunate, but it's a reality of life on Earth, right? But why are you celebrating that? It's not good. You know, AI is not bringing anything meaningful to our lives that it should cost humans jobs. But you're bragging about that as if that's a major accomplishment. And I don't even know if what you're saying is true. Let's see. Amanda, they absolutely do not want the truth. All they want is what Daddy Dump says. Oh, Dr. Do Q. Boy, this is a genius take. Talk about a fish taking the bait. Democrats' hidden truth to destroy America. Good job. David Stanley says, how much you get from it? How much I get from what? Progressive Dawn asks a really important question. How does Argentinian leather boots taste, Mega? Yeah, they don't care as long as Daddy Dump's wearing them. They'll lick them all day long. Jack O'Lantern said, if Zell signed the agreement in Oval Office, WR would be over. You mean the agreement to betray his people and give his country over to Putin? You're blaming that on Zelensky? You might want to learn a little bit more before you run your mouth and say dumb things. Joey G says, because they're hateful or aren't smart enough to understand he does care about them. You think Dump cares about who? Carolyn asks an interesting question. Do we want to be helping AI? Exactly. Yeah, AI started quietly, right? Like in your DVR, predicting what shows you'd want to see, and people thought, "Oh, this is great." And look again. There are some applications that AI does well. I'm not trying to trash the entire industry. What I'm saying is it worth it to lose huge swaths of American jobs for AI? I don't think it is. I don't think it's doing anything that's so important that it deserves the wide application that it's getting. Like, if you want to test theories in science or test calculations, if you're building a bridge or whatever, I get that. That'll save you time and effort, right? But AI is not magic. It just works with the data that we give it. It doesn't create anything. It can't do anything unless we give it data to do it. It can't come up with a book. It could just take a bunch of words and try to understand syntax so that it could put a book together. But it's getting better. I get that. Animation's getting better, blah, blah, blah. But these are not vital functions for a country. Right, Progressive Dawn, we train AI. Yeah, it doesn't. It's people talk about AI as if it's magic. Oh, it's going to become sentient. How? How are we going to program it to be sentient? And if so, how does that work? Who's got the program to make AI sentient? It can't make itself sentient. It's just a program. It's just a program. Yes, some of the things it does is impressive, but it can only do that because it's programmed to do that, and we give it the data to go through. Like, if you say, my buddy runs an IT department for a military contractor. He's really, really good at IT. That's why he runs the department. He's phenomenal at his job. So he writes scripts for computers just to do menial tasks, right? And now he uses AI to check his script, right? It saves him time. He used to have to go through the iterative process of checking it, and then if it's broken, trying to figure out where it's broken, then try to fix it, then run it again. That's a long process. Writing code is, I don't know how anyone does it, frankly. It's so painstaking, and you could write a million lines of code, which is not unusual in a program, right? And if one comma is misplaced somewhere, or you forgot to bracket something that needed an end bracket, the entire code won't run in some cases, right? So with AI, you can quickly check to see if anything's broken, or you can quickly check to see if the program is going to run the way you intended it to run. So yeah, for those kinds of functions, have at it. But that's a program helping humans, which we're used to. I mean, we all have these supercomputers in our hands most of the time. And those things help us get along and do stuff, like most people. My whole life is on my phone. Anything I need to do, I can grab my phone and do it with very rare exception. Schedule things, remind myself of things, do my banking, do my food ordering if I want to, although I generally don't do that, but I can. I've ordered food a handful of times when it was like, I didn't feel well. I didn't feel like schlepping to the store. Very first world convenience. And I appreciate that. I live in the first world and I appreciate the conveniences of it. So, for that, I love technology. The fact that I'm able to talk to you all right now is amazing. Like, satellites are involved, computers are involved. I don't know how any of this works, but we can talk to anybody in the world whenever we want to. That's amazing. Pharaohs didn't have this. Kings didn't have this in the past. The technology we've developed in the last 100, let's see, if we go from 1898 when incandescent light was brought to us to now, was that 127 years? That time period has had more innovation than all of the previous history of the world combined. Think about that. If we're talking about, let's be conservative and say civilizations have been around for like 10,000 years or so, right? Even though we've been around longer than that, but, to getting into farming and agriculture, that kind of stuff, and, organizing cities and things like that. Let's call it 10,000 years. So 10,000 years goes by, and all the innovations, the wheel, the lever, all that stuff, harnessing fire, blah, 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 all the way down the line. And yet in the last 127 years, we've outdone all of that. That's impressive, and I appreciate that. It's part of what makes the first world the first world, right? So I'm not anti-technology. I'm just anti-people losing their jobs over technology that doesn't deserve to replace human jobs. Like when they developed a robot that could go handle explosives, that was a good thing because that meant that a human didn't have to sacrifice, or not sacrifice, but jeopardize their life rather, in order to do that. That's a good thing. That's a great use of technology. But then when you take that same robot and you put them on the assembly line, that means someone loses their job. So again, I know it happens, but it sucks. And I don't understand why MAGA hats are championing that idea. Doesn't make any sense to me. Hayes, universal basic income. Yeah, that would be great. Oh, boy. All right. So it looks like MAGA hats are still crashing out in the chat, but I'm going to wrap this up. I tried to have MAGA hats up here, but they couldn't have a conversation. It's unfortunate because if you just calm down and like think about what you want to say and then just say it instead of crashing out all the time, we could have conversations. And I've done it. I know it's possible. I've had several MAGAs up here for 20, 30 minutes, sometimes longer. So, we can have conversations, but you're so childish that it's hard. It's hard to maintain that. But anyway, folks, I am here 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. and then again at 10 p.m. I'm going to share something with you. Actually, I don't have that queued up. Oh, well, I'm not going to share it now. Anyway, if you want to volunteer to try to preserve democracy and fight against corruption, go to represent.us/Yoddah, YODDAH. If you can't remember that, don't worry. Just go to my profile and click on my link tree. Right at the bottom is the Represent Us logo. and it will take you to a page where you can get started. All right. So that's it for now, folks. Peace, love, and granola. Thank you for everybody for being here. Talk to you soon.